Maybe I need to go up. We shall see. Maybe I should center everything, huh? Anyway. There we go. Something like that. Ah, the hair. I should have took the hair down, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm still kind of in that mode anyway. So, welcome to Sunday Reflections. Rocksteady, Ronnie. Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome. Trying out a new angle and new height, and I don't know. How am I doing? How am I doing on this presentation part of vlog making? Yeah, right? Are we still calling them vlogs? I don't know. Vlogs, video blogging, flogging. Ooh, yeah, we kind of do a little flogging around here. So we use axes. Yes, welcome to Sunday Reflections. It's been a very somber day, of course, you know, this being 9/11. Ajik, hey, welcome. This is the day that, you know, back in 2011, an amazing thing happened. Terrible thing happened. And it kind of ties into what we want to talk about today. And that is pestilence, famine, and war. But from a different perspective, right? Constitutional carpenter. Ahoy! Tony, Auntie T. Yes, Sweet Charity has had her 10 pounds of flesh. I went shopping today. Oh, there you are. I gotta show you this. Let's see. See if I can get her in there. See her there? See her right where you at there? Right there, looking at me through the crack in the window, or crack in the doorway, right there. Yeah. She's watching me. She's like, hey, you're forgetting something. So, here we go. The feeding of the beast. Yeah, okay. Never mind the mess. Sure. What I have for her is beef treats. Okay, I'll go a little bit lower. There you go. Snatch. I like it when she snatches. And here we go. Let's see if I can get her as eating it, huh? Can I get it? There we go. Yeah. All right. There you go. Little charity TV there. So when it gets darker, I'll turn on the light here. But I got my window open so I can look out. Hey, prepping plumber, evening. Auntie T, yep. Independent Mini United, cute pup. Thank you. So yeah, Day of Remembrance. You know, when 2 buildings fell, 3 buildings, no, 4 buildings. How many buildings fell? I don't remember. I know you guys do in chat, but I'm not saying what caused it because, well, that's really up for debate, isn't it? But the fact of the matter is that thousands of people died in a horrific, terrible incident. And the reasons, of course, you know, come to pestilence, famine, and war. So I was checking out Jordan Peterson and Michael Yon a couple months ago when Jordan Peterson interviewed Michael Yon. Yeah, number 7. Imploded spontaneously. See what I mean? There's weird stuff going on here on this story. Blessings, beautiful souls. Dee Dee Dum, welcome. Welcome to Sunday Reflections. Let's hope we can keep ourselves to being beautiful souls. Yeah, a lot of weird things happened that day. And then afterwards, too. before, during, and after that incident, 9/11, or how many was it? 14,000. I forget. I forget the numbers, and I'm sure you guys can correct me as we go. But thousands of people died. Memorials were erected in their honor, and the first responders, that were many. Uh, JR is here. Hey, from work. Hope all is well. Yes, indeed, me as well. I do too. I hope all is well with you as well. I imagine the asbestos was removed from the towers. I wonder what was under the new insulation. Joe Morgan, welcome. So at least we forget that day. And soon after that, we went to war. We got into all kinds of mess, didn't we? But like I said, Hillbilly, Homesteader 1776, howdy y'all. I was listening to Jordan Peterson and Michael Yon, and I have to give them credit for this inspiration. And it's about pestilence or pandemic, famine, and war. And it got me to thinking and reflecting on it, and I see it as a scale, right? And we know what happens when pestilence, famine, and war befall a community, a nation, country, a people. We even know what it means in a species. In the animal kingdom, it is racked with that absolute destruction. Pestilence, famine, and war will bring a species to extinction or damn near to it. History has repeated that itself over and over and over again. And they call it the trifecta, the pestilence, famine, and war. Hey, Loretta, welcome. So I look at it, and it's like a scale. It's a scale. Do you survive? Do you thrive? Or does the scale get tipped and you fall into pestilence, famine, and war, and destruction and or extinction? We here in America, we here in most of the Western world, and modern, well, let's just say the modern world, from a historical perspective, I always like to look at things from the past going forward and from the forward looking back. We think that we are immune to pestilence, famine, and war, and we should be. The advances in technology and medicine, in our building, in our structure. I mean, look at me. I'm talking to you through a phone, and you see me somewhere else, wherever you are. So it's amazing what we have achieved in that advances, and of course in the sociological and economical advances as well. To facilitate, Miss Sharon, hey, welcome. To facilitate our survival and our thrivability, our success in surviving this planet, this human condition that we have. So I'm going to try not to get too religious and spiritual into it, but that's going to play a factor as well. Like I said, it's a scale, right? And if it's tipped, if you keep adding things to one side of the scale or the other, it tips in your favor or you're falling. So pestilence, famine, and war, and they're all connected. Once you have pestilence, then you're going to have famine, then you're going to have war, and then you're going to have more famine, and then that's going to cause more pestilence. So it's a compounding thing that really builds up. Be charming. Hey, welcome. And it's very hard to get out of that pestilence, famine, and war, and your inevitable destruction. On the other side, you have to continuously watch the scale so that you add survivability and longevity to your side of the scale. And we hope that brings us peace. Peace is a big part of it, right? When you add to that scale. And one could argue that our Constitution took that, definitely did took that into heart. These were the quintessential philosophical things of antiquities. These are what people talked about. These are what people thought about. These are what everybody strived to, learn, because this is our survival, and of course as a weapon. Pestilence, famine, and war, going back to war, can be weaponized, and we're kind of seeing that we're definitely seeing that right now. One thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, and next thing you know, the scales are tipped in their favor and not ours. So, that's what they've been doing. That's what they've been studying, how to achieve that. And they think they've perfected it, and they have to a certain extent. Look at Sri Lanka. That's what I learned a little bit on when I was listening to this podcast, which I've shared, I think, in my community page. Michael Yan and Jordan Peterson. Jordan, if you don't know, Michael Yan he is a combat correspondent. Like, he goes everywhere. He's been in any or all conflicts or anything of this nature. He's there, and he is truly a master of pestilence, famine, and war. So Devil Dog, hey, welcome. Semper Fi, hoorah, yut yut. He's seen it all, and his background is he was the youngest Ranger, I think. No, Delta. I don't know. I forget these things. He was Special Forces. At 19, he got into the Special Forces in the Army. So, now he's older, and this is what he does for a living. And of course, we all know Jordan Peterson is. He's the well-known, no-nonsense psychological brainiac of this century. So their conversation led me to this, and it was about this, absolutely. But what causes it? The cause and effect. What is the cause and effect? It all comes down to corruption. In my eyes, is corruption. Once you corrupt a system that is thriving, which we are. Sri Lanka, for instance, I wanted to use that. Sri Lanka was thriving. Sri Lanka they had more food than they knew what to do with, and they were exporting. Meat Puppet, hey, welcome. Everybody had a fairly decent quality of life. You could do what you wanted. You could go up, make more money, be rich. You could stay in the working class, or you could just say, fuck it, I'm going to do drugs and just be dirt poor, which is what they were known for there. Vice and Griff, of course, very racked. Sri Lanka has some of the wildest bars and red light, blue light districts in the world, but the rest of the country, and they also had very strong morals. That was a very important thing too. They had very strong social morals. They had fairly peaceful. They still had crime and all that stuff, but once the Weef came in, hey, Green Thumb, welcome. All right, outstanding, Green Thumb. I hope all is well with you. But of course, the young global leaders from their community college infiltrated Sri Lanka's government and ran it into the ground. The food ran out. Prices went up. And on everything. And then what happens? People are hungry. They run out into the streets and they get what they need, get what they want, get what they need. It's mass hysteria, and total civil unrest, riots, food riots. And then of course security is kicked up and the supply starts to dwindle. Oh, and then the energy, they start fucking with it. No. Oh, they start stopping food production. Busy, right? Right, Green Thumb? What else is new? And they got overregulated in their farms. Things were shut down. Their farms were literally shut down. People were arrested. They went through everything that we're seeing today, right? And they watched their country destroy itself in a matter of months. And then, of course, they said, that's it, we're done. And they got rid of their problem, they thought. We're going to go ahead and just get rid of the problem. and got rid of their El Presidente, or I don't know what they call him. He had a very long name, let me tell you. Sri Lanka. What can I say? And they thought, okay, that's it, we won. And they said, okay, well, we got to put in a provisional president. And wow, would you believe that he's one of Klaus's finest? And they're continuing to slowly come back online. Shipments stopped coming to them. Boats bypassed their country. Boats carrying food, water, medicine, gasoline, everything. And I think they're starting to trickle in just a little bit. But that's every nation, every country, the history that has ever happened. But now there's no real, in the past, in the medieval times, and throughout history, throughout culture, India, China, Japan, even us. We had the Civil War, but the Indian, the Native Americans history and their pestilence, famine, and war. Sri Lanka is a falling nation right now. So sad. Yeah, it is. And it's a vicious cycle. Once you get to famine, like, oh shit. Well, you start eating everything on the island, on the land. You eat every living thing. Every living thing is food now. And then the harsh reality of it looks at each other as food. In so many ways throughout history that has happened. You can see the great wars of Malaysia, Indonesia, India, China, Japan, just amazingly, or Europe as well. They had some very bad times dealing with pestilence, famine, and war. There was a time, I think, in the 1300s, when there was no sunlight. Nothing grew. Yeah, the zoo animals were eaten. Venezuela. And what was all that caused by? They had the greatest society. They had running water. They had electricity. They could chill and keep. Hey, Crimson Lily, welcome. Hail, beautiful Viking. Thank you very much. Thank you. Peppers, cucumbers, sweet potatoes, and watermelons. All right. Hell yeah. But what was I saying? These catalysts, these causes, add to the scale. Yeah, giraffes have a lot of meat, huh? And it starts to downgrade. You see Venezuela. You see Sri Lanka. You see many countries in Africa that go through this, yearly. We in the Western world, we enjoy a quality of living, a high quality of life, that the likes of which history has never seen before. You think about it. You have electricity, running water, heating and air conditioning. We can heat food. We can cook easily with relative ease and safety. I say that to a lot of you guys. Burning down the house trying to cook something. Are we still unprepared? Yes, I have burnt water before. Yeah, absolutely. So, but grease fires. Hey, but we enjoy a level of safety and security and quality of life that the likes of which that nobody in history has ever seen. Except for maybe the high elites and the kings and queens and the but even we have surpassed their way of life. All I have to do is just pay some money and I got air conditioning. All right. Well, there's that. Safety and security, right? And we found out that goods and services in a capitalist society creates wealth and prosperity and abundance. We have mastered abundance. If left alone, in our evolution, the people, if left alone, we can have abundance. That's what we've achieved in this 21st and a half century. Yoper, hey, welcome. But like I said, we have to watch that scale. And if the scale over here, if we stop adding, because the abundance, the abundance side in security and survival, it has to be constantly added to. There has to be constant work to this side to bring it into our favor. You have to constantly work to survive. When you start to give up, you start to add to the bad side, the pestilence, the famine and the war, the corruption, you start working on the kids, you start doing CRT, you start doing all these Green New Deals and regulations, and let's introduce some mandates and things of that nature that is very detrimental to the health and wealth of a society. And then that scale starts to tip, and things go south. Shit hits the fan. When the scale hits the ground, it splatters and goes up, and hits the fan and goes everywhere. So, yeah, I know, very colorful today when this is Sunday Reflections. But you have to constantly work at both of them. You have to constantly weigh down your abundance. You have to constantly take away from the pestilence, the famine, and the war. Yeah. Just a little weight there, Uber, the Paris Accord. They take that little weight and they put it on the bad side, the extinct side. So that's it. That's pretty much it. Your thoughts, please feel free. That's what we're facing. And we're blindly doing it. Oh no, Green Thumb Prepper. I have abundance all over my kitchen floor. You gotta clean that up. or, oh, I see, Green Thumb. I see what you're doing. Cool. That's the staging area, huh? The kitchen floor. Lots of canning going on. Lots of canning. Me personally, I like table and table and cabinet space. Check out my last Gardens Harvest vid. Hell yeah, right on, Green Thumb. Absolutely. Drop the link, man. Drop the link. Folks, drop your links. If you are blue, please feel free to drop your links or drop others' links. Please. Drop intel, drop information, drop anything that you wish, as long as it's not too crazy and gets me shut down. or gets a knock at the door from either one, your side or mine. That's the thing. Communism versus capitalism. Communism will lead to pestilence, famine, and war, and will be used as a tool to get totalitarian control. That's what I mean by weaponizing, and that's what communism does. A socialist communist thing. That has evolved from Karl Marx, when he wrote his thing. He imagines this beautiful utopian where everyone is equal and gets equal and survives, and they get exactly what they need, and that's it, no more. Klingon Princess, hey, welcome. Kwalka. And it never works out. Matter of fact, it leads to pestilence, starvation, and war. And they have to constantly monitor and keep that in check. You see what China is going through. China is one of the largest communist countries in the absolute world. Maybe the universe, who knows? And you see what they do. They allow just enough freedom for people to do what they want, yet to think they can do what they want. But they're still strapped trapped in that communist society where the hierarchy, the oligarchy controls all, and the people are subjugated and enslaved. So the people are always on the brink of pestilence, famine, and war. And the oligarchy has tipped the scale of abundance in their favor. Milkmaid, Auslander. All right. Morning. That's right. It's morning there. Jules, welcome. Capitalism. Capitalism is like a dangerous freedom. It allows everyone to work as much as they want, to achieve as much as they want, and there until it provides a good and services. So the more goods and services that you provide, the more capital that you gain. Capitalism. Thus creating this interlocking, connecting system of dependency. Or just your wants and desires. You don't have that in communism. Communism, you get exactly what your next door neighbor has. That's it. Here you go. Here's your bowl of rice for the day. Oh, there's always shortages. You can't buy what you want. You can't own what you want. And what F is up is corruption. That's right, corruption. The system, the people have been corrupted to the point where they believe they have no choice. Well, I live here in China. Okay. I guess I got to do what they say. Fuck. Oh, we're on lockdown, so they're going to weld my door shut and make sure I do not leave, and give me no food nor water. And I'm just supposed to be okay with that. Yeah, that's great. Whereas over here, we do it willingly. No need to lock me down. I'll do it myself. Equality, everyone is poor. Yes, that's it. Everyone has nothing. You will own nothing and you'll be happy, that kind of thing. Yeah. You'll be happy in the fact that you don't have to worry about it. As usual, sorry if I miss things. Buffering and halted chats. No problem, Milkmaid. After communism is all I can say. Yep. Jules, my about page. We can talk. Capitalism allows for free thinkers and developers, and you can go as far as you want. You can, think about it. The person that made the paperclip got super fucking rich. He created a goods and services because now he created a paperclip, and now everybody wants it. So now he's got to provide the service of, okay, I'm going to make this. You want to come get it, or should I send it to you? Goods and services. And he made millions. Rich. You see this all the time. Carrier. Oh man, Carrier. Carrier created air conditioning. Meat puppet. That's what she said. Right on. But if you can provide something that everybody wants and there's a demand for it, supply and demand, then you do fairly well. The same principle applies in homesteading, right? You homesteaders out there, if you can provide for yourself and your family and everyone involved, say your home, your homestead, whatever, then you get to that point of abundance, then you don't have to worry too much about pestilence, war, and survival. You do from a outsider standpoint, but the girls. But you have this interlocking system, and you have the loyalty of family and friends and that codependency, and with that comes morals and standards that you adhere to. In a communist society, there's no morals and standards. There's just edicts and commands. If you don't do what the government says, well, they come and visit you in the middle of the night, put a bag over your head, and off you go. Either to be re-educated or to be absolutely just killed. And now they harvest your organs and make some money off of you. So even in death, you serve the state. Can't own a business in a communist country? It is state-owned. You can run it. You can run the business, and you get what the government tells you get. And they will give some type of perks. See, that's where the corruption thing comes in. Right off the bat, Karl Marx's super utopian has been corrupted. You know, and it's already been proven. It never happens. There's always a corruption that comes in, and the same thing with capitalism. Capitalism is so free that it is susceptible to corruption. But it is a self-correcting system. If one group over here has a goods or services that they provide and everybody gets it, if that one group starts taking out the competition, shutting them down, whatever means, killing them. This is how it was done back in the day. You killed them. Local soap makers making soap. Well, no, we can't have that. Let's go get them, boys. Some societies allowed for farms. That's where a lot of our goods and services came from. Was farms. You wanted something, farmers made it, right here, right there. And if you had the wherewithal and you were a homesteader and you just wanted to live off by your own with you and your family, you could do the same thing, just on a smaller scale. It's brilliant. It is. I mean, that's the way we figured it out. And then the goods and services came in. And then the corruption. Because once a farmer, once a free person starts doing stuff, some type of figure comes out of the shadows and says, "Hey, I am your king. I am your leader, and you must do what I say, or I'm going to cut off the big toe of everyone here, all my subjects, and you will give me half your stuff." The whole. How about the Negan? You see The Walking Dead. Negan. We're here to get your stuff. The Animal Farm, right? Yeah. Utopian. That's the Karl Marxist utopian Animal Farm. If you don't know what that is, it's a great read. It was required reading when we were a kid in school. Yes, people. Absolutely, people. Because we have now figured out, how to survive and thrive. Now we see it as an arcane technology. Now we're not even worried about that. We have, I can go to a convenience store and get more food than any type of more food than a tribe can produce in a year. But yes, people, because it comes from people, but everyone still has to face pestilence, famine, and war, even in a high society. A lot of high societies, a lot of advanced societies of antiquity have passed on because of pestilence, famine, and war. One of the most, so many, we know the stories of Atlantis, the tales of Atlantis. Thousands upon thousands of years ago, this city in the middle of the ocean with all its major advances and abundancy just fell into the ocean. What happened? What the fuck just happened? So, that calamity thing does happen. And that's pestilence, famine, war. You could call that a pestilence, an asteroid pestilence, a earthquake pestilence. And pestilence, you can categorize anything that happens, like diseases and viruses that destroy populations and species. You farmers know about this. Milkmaid, I'm sure you can right off the top of your head tell me what kind of pestilence, bovine fever, or whatever. There's all kinds of things. There's whooping cough in dogs, kennel cough. Yeah, I mean it spreads throughout, and things start to die. Things start to get weak. The weaker you get, the closer to death you are. Squirrel. I remember we could not. We were told in Tennessee that one year we could not hunt the squirrels because they had some type of crazy disease, and we, of course, they didn't want to transmit it into the human population because we ate them squirrels. We would kill them, hunt them. We would hunt them, kill them, and eat them. And they were like, "No, stop! You know, that's your part of your DNR. DNR, you know, Department of Natural Resources and stuff. Hey, metal for breakfast." And I hear Lily's here. Let's see. My brother and I have had so many difficult conversations over the past years. At a time, I thought our relationship was over. We made it through and have a new level of love and understanding. Awesome. Awesome, Klingon. I have hopes for that in my brother. My brother is estranged, you know, and I can understand him. I can understand where he's coming from. But still. Reconciliation. They try to scare us. Yeah. Oh, Brother Rooster with chronic wasting disease and deer. Wow. And see, yeah, right. Constitution carrier, carpenter. That's the part of the weaponization of the pandemic. Fear. That's another weight that you put in the destruction side, the bad side. You know, the extinction of your species side. Fear. You know. But we thought we fixed that. We thought that we have the best, and we do, the best medical, the best researchers, and we have science on our side. Science, you know, we can pull out that disease, put it between two pieces of glass, and look at it with a very, very fine microscope, and start to, you know, take it apart and analyze it and see what makes it tick. And, you know, hey, let's do some little experiments. Hey, let's add this. Whoa, that kills it. Okay, great. We figured it out. Send it out there. Let's eradicate this pestilence. You know. Carpenter up here in Ontario, we were being told to send a sample of every deer we shot into the lab for testing. Yeah, right. I'll get right on that. Wow. Damn. That's where the corruption comes in. And you don't know. You don't know. One can argue, are they looking out for your best interest because they work for the people? Or are they using scare tactics? You know, wear a mask. Wear a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask. Everybody wear a mask. Hey, let's wear a mask. You know the memes. The most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed is humility and not bragging. Yeah. Oh, we all brag to a certain extent. We all have bragging rights, I think. But when the morality of a society is degraded, when fear is introduced into a society, into a group, a tribe, you know, there's so many stories, you know, these tribes in Africa that, you know, you see what happened to the Aztecs. The Aztecs started to destroy their own selves. They believed that they had to kill everybody and sacrifice their hearts to appease the gods so that the rain would come back or the rain would stop. You know, to stop their pestilence, famine, and war. And what they succeeded in doing is killing just about everybody there and running off everybody else. Sharing experiences, yeah. But there is bragging rights in sharing that experience, right? You know, so there's a fine line. This is something you hit, Mad Shad. I know, yeah, I know, and I'm not above bragging. I'm not. I try not to. And of course, you know, once again, we're at the scale. I gotta provide content here, so you know. If I brag a little, hey, I brag a little. But I also own up to my failures too. That's the thing, you know, is as well. That's part of the learning experience and sharing that learning experience. Like I said, wisdom is doing stupid shit and surviving. That I have a lot of wisdom on. So And I still have all my fingers and toes, which is truly amazing. But um, famine, pestilence, and war, and the threat of famine, pestilence, and war has shaped societies throughout antiquity, throughout history, um, even throughout animal species. It helps our evolution. Our DNA remembers all the pestilence of our ancestors. Our DNA. There is what's that fancy word? Pre-comorbidities that we all have to certain things, but there's certain things that we are immune to because our ancestors faced it, and we got over it, and our DNA, our body remembers it and goes, we got your ass. Oh, hell no. There's a reason why some people never get the common cold, never get the flu, the influenza, and some people do. There's a reason why that people get arthritis after a certain age. There's a reason why that the color comes out of our skin and our hair, and there's these reasons why we have heart attacks at a certain age. Our muscles start to fade away. Cancer is a corruption that is fairly new to our species, and one could argue it's because of our dirty living and unpure food, and which I have inclined to agree. In terrible living, hazardous to your health, working and living conditions. In the Victorian time, a lot of people died from lead poisoning because they used lead paint, and they heated their homes with they were heating their homes with coal and wood, and then it got into steam and gas and all that kind of stuff, and basically everything was venting and melting in their house and killing them with the vapors. There was a time when it was great. It was a practice to put poison on your face, a well-known poison on your face to make you look beautiful. Now we inject it. We take Botox, which is a stachybotrys, a botulism. You guys know what botulism is? Botox. It's a botulism bacteria. It's extremely devastating to life, and they literally inject it into you to freeze that nerve and to create the appearance of youth and longevity, youth and pliability, whatever. Doesn't last long, and your body eventually gets rid of it when it dies, when the lethality of it starts to degrade. And then, of course, Botox has a little things in there to help degrade it and help it to keep it in your body, in that area. But anyway, botulism. 7 pounds of it in powder form is enough to kill every species, every human being on the earth. I remember playing with mercury in science class. Yeah, see, we do that. We and as evolution, that's how we learn. Is we take something, we look at it, we play with it. Throw it up against the wall, chew on it, stomp on it, light it on fire. There's so many. C4 came about because, relatively, that compound was used as a type of fuel in Vietnam to cook things. But they found that some kind of impact or electrical discharge into it made it blow up. But it was fairly stable, and you could light it on fire, and it kept a good flame. Kind of like your sternal packs and your things of that nature that you see. But that's how we found out. Oh, C4. Ooh. Oh, really? Oh, really? Let's look at this again. Experimental time. Let's get to work. And we've been doing that since the dawn of man. Since the dawn of man, we have been figuring out everything that is everything on this planet. You look at alchemy. You look at, the uses of herbs and tinctures to treat illness and ailments and to create sickness and death. There's a well-known war where the occupants of the fortified community had their well poisoned. And they all died while at a siege. That's fairly common. That's why you wanted to make sure that your well was within your fortifications, within your film, your sphere of influence, if you will. So you think about that with your water supply. Where does it come from? Well, you don't even think about that. You don't care. You don't care. It's over there. Yeah, the city does it. Yeah. Hey, all right, Sister Marie's kitchen. Hey. We don't think about that. But we'll think about it when it shuts off. Or it's poisoned. They had to shut down what was it, a 10 million gallon reservoir here. I think I should check it out. It's a lot of millions of gallons of water that they held and processed. And they built it back in the 1930s. And they had to stop, drain the whole damn thing, and clean the motherfucker because of massive calcium deposits and algae growth and pH and all this made it dangerous to drink. Still looking for the Philosopher's Stone, right? You know, you want to be Midas, right? Turn anything to gold. We've almost got that point, right? We almost got to that point where we can start changing compounds. We can start changing. We've made exotic materials. You know, look at Kevlar. Look at composite fiber materials. Because the kids peed in the pool. Damn it. That's why we got chlorine and a bunch of other stuff. But all that can be turned on our heads if we don't watch it. If we're not ever diligent. Michigan, just trust your local leaders. Right, there you go. Water, yep. Look at Flint, Michigan. Just trust your local leaders. They got your back. What a joke. Yeah, you have to stay vigilant and diligent about it. Because corruption is there. And it will be used to circumvent all your systems. For whatever reason. That's where that part comes in. That's where the high moral character of a society is very important. And that's where religion plays a part. Our Constitution was based on Judeo-Christian values. And it's worked pretty goddamn good. And yes, I did say that, didn't I? So please excuse me. Pretty good. And I was talking about this before too with a friend of mine. When you talk about from a sociological standpoint, you need that rebel. You need that strong moral character. You do, and everybody kind of adheres to that. That's why Christianity is very, very popular, and the values that come from that. And you'll see, and there's also a lifestyle that comes from that. You know. Traditionally, you think that a good Christian, a person of good Christian character and morals is not going to be going to the titty bar. Is not going to be going and doing drugs. Is not going to be going and doing crimes against humanity. They're not. They're going to look at everyone as their brother and sister, and they're going to try to help as much as they can, and at the same time trying to keep themselves in check, from vice and grift, because that is where it lies. The corruption, the perversion, into whatever that perversion is. Is it sexual? Is it material? Is it something psychological? Does it have to do with somebody else paying the price? Is that addiction, that perversion, that addiction, perversion leads to addiction? Is that addiction something that's very detrimental to others? You look at serial killers; they just like to kill people. Bank robbers like to rob banks. That's an extreme part that I'm talking about. Greed, power, yes, but it can be kept in check. Now, I have to say, there are folks that will live in this society, and we all had a part in this too. Me, of course, included. I was the rebel. I was the questioning rebel. And yes, I got in a little trouble here and there. I got a little, in some criminal activity. You wanna be so much of a rebel that you want to be wanted by the cops and shit. So, wanted by the powers that be. That's okay if it's kept on a low scale, and that's where your free thinkers and you need that rebel in that moral straight-laced society. Now, a lot of societies like the Amish, you see what they do. They have what is it called? Like 17, 18, I forget this thing. But they let the kids go. When the kids have got to their point of that's it, their hormones are overloading their Christian values and their way of life and their moral standards in their society. There was a brilliant thing. They said, "Hey, go, just go sow your wild oats. Go see what the real world is like. Go ahead, go to titty bars, go drink, do drugs, have sex, rob, steal, and kill. Whatever you want to do, whatever you need to do, and then come on back if you want to, or you can just stay out there because we won't want you. There's two, here's your choice, right?" And the Amish are really good. And you know what? Most kids come back. Very, very few young adults, very, very few young adults stay out there. There's exceptions to the rule, of course. But most kids say, wow, the real world is fucked up. I'm going back. I'm Amish. Go Team Amish, right? Speaking of which, I got a really cool t-shirt. Check this out. See if I can get this in. Yeah. Cool, huh? Let's see here. Here we go. Here's the back of it. I like the back of it too. Yeah. Right. How is it? I can't tell. Yeah. Right. I had to get it, and it's one of those things you get at the fair, right? Lights. Oh, it's getting dark outside. So I got that. I got a bunch of other ones, but you'll see those. So the Amish, biker, Amish chopper, whatever. I thought it was cool. It might be a real thing. I don't know, right, Cannabis? That's just me being a rebel. I like cool T-shirts. Even though I might not know what it means or whatever, it means something to me, right? Hope you got fair food. Oh, metal for breakfast. Yeah, I made a video. It's a very long video. And it's a very complicated video. So I gotta edit, and I've got to string it all together. So once I get the time to do that, I'll drop that video for you at the fair. But yeah, I had a chicken dinner right off the bat. Well, I drank coffee all morning until about 11 o'clock, and then I had big barbecue chicken dinner. And then after that, I had a funnel cake with maple and bacon. I did not get any cotton candy. I really wanted to, but we were getting a little tired and taxed out. It was hot. Hot. You're doing all this walking around, So yeah, I spent a little bit of money, but I mean, got some Mylar bags. Found Mylar bags. Found Berkey. You find all kinds of things at these fairs, and they had everything. It's the biggest fair, one of the second largest fair in Ohio, Wayne County, and that's where the 4-H is. That brought back so many memories of lamb and cows and horses, and all the kids were doing their thing, showing, judging, and everything, food, bake, art, everything from the kids. And Monday, tomorrow, is one of their biggest days. All the kids have their field trips and go there for free. Free admission for all kids in the area, or in the state of Ohio, I think. Hell, anywhere. I mean, if I don't know, maybe there's a Michigan field trip. Kids from Pennsylvania, kids from Kentucky that go to this thing. I don't know, because they have a huge, large, like livestock kind of thing going on, and everything. It's they got it all. Last night, of course, they also had the demolition derby, the tractor pulls. I extensively watched the horse pull. You know, the team of horses. They were pulling like 9,000 pounds in this block. Great. And everybody's cheering like, and I got into it. It was really cool. So you'll see all that. You'll see all that. Right, Majik? I know. Yeah. But that was fun, and you got to see people. I got to realize that I'm old, and as a old rebel, as a kid, you know, that was a skateboarder and had a mohawk, and you know, rah, I was a rebel amongst straight-laced kids and black folks, and you know, Christians, mostly Christians. So I seen all these new kids, these young kids. I'm like, y'all just fucking weird. Everybody had pink hair. Everybody had some kind of bitch in them. Transgenderism going on there. I did see a few like punky rebels with, you know, young kids trying to be a tough guy. But you also seen a mixture, like farmers. A lot of farmer kids there. There's a lot of boots and cowboy hats. You know? There were some people in suits. So there were different genres of young people. You seen all the kids. The kids had a freaking uniform. They had boots and they were wearing jeans and long sleeve shirts because they're playing with livestock. You kind of need that stuff when you're playing with livestock. So you'll see all that. You'll see all that. But then you see just regular old folk just walking around, doing their thing. Not pink hair. It's a genetic deviate, but it's the 1960s, but at a genetic deviation level. I think you're right. And that's been weaponized. That's another little weight on the pestilence, famine, and war side. Because a nation can eat itself away. When the moral compass of a people is tipped in the wrong direction, that's another weight in the pestilence, famine, and war side of the scale. I'm still a rebel, but I'm older now. Or I did stupid shit and I survived and I learned things. I learned what to do and what not to do by literally doing them. Case in point, I remember when I was 14 years old, I was hitchhiking with a friend of mine in the city. And I would do this. And if they didn't give me a ride, I flipped them off right away. I'd go, and if they drove by me, I'd say, fuck you. Well, I did this to the wrong truck. Hey, Lori. This truck with these two redneck individuals with mullets and hats, trucker hats. They actually had guns in their rack in their truck. I flipped them off. The tires come to a screeching halt right in the middle of traffic. They backed up doing 90 miles an hour, put that truck bed between me and my friend, jumped out, got in my face, and these were some 30-year-old tobacco chewing, spitting motherfuckers, and they chewed our asses out for a good fucking 20 minutes and really threatened to kick our ass or kill us and throw in the back of the truck. Yeah. And we were like, wow, 15 years old, 14 years old. And here I am I learned conflict resolution right there. These guys were going to kill me. And yeah, he had a big fucking knife on his leg. A fucking sidearm, a machete. He had a fucking hunting knife, right? He fucking had his handle right on it. The other guy was in the truck with the shotgun. You know, they were talking shit, mad shit. So I learned, don't flip people off in traffic in Tennessee. And the blonde ass, did they kill you? Right, all slender. Did they kill you? Yeah, reality bites hard. There was some pushing, you know. I got a little rebellious, you know, like fuck you, man. I do what the fuck I want. Boom, he pushed me hard, show me he had more man strength than me. He's in his 30s, you know, facial beard. He spit tobacco right on my chest. I was like, and I took it. I was like, oh shit, fuck. All right, let's not do that. And we walked home. Hey, Gardner Josh. Oh, Meadow's got an interesting story here. Let's see. I got picked up hitchhiking because I didn't flip them off after they went by. They stopped for me. They even told me that. So, yeah, you know, living dangerously as a kid, right? But it was a learning process. I learned how disrespectful I was doing. Yeah, Auslander. Yeah. They were some I was waiting for the banjo music. That was before I'd seen that movie, so I was very naive. I was a naive rebel. Figuring all this shit out. Inner city kid. An inner city kid that met some good old boys. And they were not happy. Oh man, I got my window open. I wish we had smell-o-vision. Somebody is cooking chicken. Oh, there's onion, there's garlic involved. Oh man, it smells good. I'm going outside to smoke a cigarette. Come on. Come on, folks. Mmm, yummy. No. Oh my God. That smells so good. Yeah, begging for a ride needs humility. I didn't have any. I had no humility. That was my problem. Reflecting on that, Metal, that was my problem. I had no humility. None whatsoever. Which made me stupid. You know? Oh my God, it smells so good. Made me offensive. Chicken curry. Oh my God. That smells great. That's amazing smell too. Yeah. Honest, I don't live that close. Sister Marie's kitchen. Are you cooking? Is that what you're cooking? Oh, it smells great. I tell you that. Oh, I can smell the barbecue sauce now. Mmm. Oh, you got shepherd pie leftovers. Oh, that's an amazing smell. Mmm. Oh, it's amazing. Garlic. I can smell garlic now. Mmm. Oh, it's beautiful. Mmm. I got my doors and windows open, you know, enjoying this great air. It's been Salisbury steak. Oh. Yeah. Now the food porn part of rainy here all day. It rained today. Now it's just cloudy all day long, which makes for great temperature. Really, 74 degrees, constant 72, 74. I don't know. But now I'm just inundated with these amazing smells. I smell like some kind of herbs too. Some kind of green herbs. I don't know what it is, but they're roasting the hell out of it, whatever it is. Mm. And that's abundance. You won't have that in famine, starvation. That smell that I'm smelling, that everybody here is smelling, oh man, you won't have that. Here we go. If you live in the burb, just get some bacon and do it on the barbecue. All the neighbors get hungry, even the ninjas. That's right, Auslander. Shepherd's pie, favorite colder weather, basil and rose. That's it. That's what I'm smelling, B. I think it's rosemary. Probably basil. I want to say thyme, but not thyme. I don't smell thyme. I like thyme. Thyme has a very aromatic kind of smell. It's just great. Like the smell is in my mouth and my nose. Oh, it's beautiful. You're not gonna have that in famine. If you do, everybody's gonna come a calling. You're definitely gonna bring the zombies to your doorstep with this smell. Cook onions, yeah, you're right, Be Charming. There's people here that cook some onions, man. When they cook, and it's a mess of onions that smell up the place with the garlic. And, oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, Sister Marie. Yep. So that's why getting in a community and having that protection and security. Spotted Fawn, hey, welcome. Hold on, I'm gonna try to make you blue, Spotted Fawn. Hold on. Tell me if it works. Yes, Spotted Fawn is now a moderator for your channel. Yes, you are now a moderator, Spotted Fawn. Please feel free to drop your links, drop intel, drop info, share videos, share intel, whatever you wish, whatever your heart's desire. And of course, if anybody comes in blue, that is questionable, especially if they're someone that we don't like. I like to say that all are welcome here if they're brave enough. Old tires to burn, yeah. Mask the smell. But then you would kind of masking the smell, then it destroys the experience of cooking food. You know, that's the best thing of cooking food is smelling it. You know, the anticipation. YouTube is racist against his red pills. Yep. You know. So while in community, you know, you smell everybody cooking, and you say you're sitting in Overwatch. Say you got watch. You're in your 5-story building, and you're in your murder hole, and you're supposed to be watching this sector of fire, this area, and you've got 5 hours, and you smell all this cooking. You know you're gonna get a plate. Somebody's gonna bring you a plate, you know. Or when you get off, you hope that there's some left for you. You know. Good hot meal, you know. The smell of Kingsford, yeah, charcoal travels far in the burbs. Yep, Carpenter, you're right. Cinnamon and bread is another one that draws people in. Yeah, bread, a good smell, good bread that you're cooking. Oh, folks, I'm telling you, these smells are just, they're great. We smell things, we actually absorbing particles of whatever we are smelling. Yeah, right. Yeah, I want more particles of whatever they're cooking. It smells amazing, and the mindset it puts you in. You know, it does. It puts you in that mindset. You're just like, Mrs. made bread this morning. Oh, great, Metal, great. I'd like to learn how to make bread. Yeah, maybe one day. Yeah, Lori. Scale to thee. Hey, welcome. I'm actually talking about the scales. Pestilence, famine, and war. Abundance, survival. The scale. I know, B, but I guess I make it hard. I don't know. Every time I try, I fail. But the biscuits I tried to make, they turned into bricks. I think I froze them because they are good in a soup. They're just really hard bread, so good in a soup. I'm enjoying these smells, y'all. Tigger, hey, welcome to Sunday Reflections. I'm currently smelling something outside that's amazing. Chicken cooking with garlic herbs, barbecue. Oh my God, it's amazing. Vision Prepper, hey, welcome. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly it. I am good at making heart attacks, Sister Marie. I just need more practice. That's all it is. I just need to get in there and really, hone the craft. Cooking sauce is a yummy smell. Yeah, I can smell the barbecue, the garlic. Oh man, it's just amazing. Biscuits are harder to make than bread. The hardest part of making bread is not eating a whole loaf that first day. Yeah, that's very true. And that's another little weight in the abundance side. When you yes I am, Dee Dee. Oh man. And I just ate too. And one could argue that imagine what Charity smells. Dogs have awesome sniffers. Yeah, yeah, yes they do. Hers is up there. I estimate hers is about 100,000 times my sense of smell. There's a range. Beagles having the greatest sense of smell. I knew a named Annie. She was a beagle, and if you farted in her presence, she would get mad, bark at you, and leave the room. She didn't want to smell that. And their sense of smell is like 500 times. They can smell things in the ground. They can smell things for miles. They can smell everything. Imagine having that. That's can be a bit of a hindrance. But pestilence, famine, and war. Abundance. We have abundance. And what did they say? They've already said that the era of abundance is over. So now we have corruption, and they're literally shaping society for the worse. They're creating famine, they're creating pestilence, they're creating fear, and they're creating war. So those who survive, those kind of societies in history that have survived pestilence, famine, and war, which we have in our history. We have survived pestilence, we have survived famines, the Great Depression, we have survived war, Civil War, and then we fought other wars. There's Spanish-American War, there's the French and Indian War. We've had a few wars here on this Prepper Book Club. Hey, welcome! Finally, you can help me out with this historical part of this. Good evening. So yeah, history has taught us that those who can weather pestilence, famine, and war will have abundance and longevity if they can maintain that scale and weigh the scale of abundance and survivability in their favor. Yeah, revolutions, that's where the corruption part comes in. We have allowed corruption to take over our abundance and take away. They're literally taking away from our abundance scale to tip the scales in their favor, creating chaos and disorder and death. So we need to weather this one too. We need to figure out how to beat this or how to come back. The Great Depression, you guys look at the Great Depression, it wasn't just here in America. It was a little bit. We got a really, really bad part of it. Europe got a worse part of it. Europe has been going through thousands of years of pestilence, famine, and war. Africa has been going through thousands of years of pestilence, famine, and war. Most countries that have any type of longevity have went through pestilence, famine, and war, and have learned most of the lessons there is to learn from that. And I say this because, the potato famine in Ireland, right? Even though they were surrounded by, fish. Yep, I agree there, Scale. Absolutely, everything dizzy. The pendulum is swinging the other way, but there's levels to this pendulum, because you have the big pendulum, abundance and survival, longevity, and then pestilence, famine, and war, death and destruction. And within that big scale, there's little bitty scales in each one. That little scale, weight is either distributed, is taken out, or added, and it starts to mess with the bigger picture, the microcosm. You start to see things like CRT and wokeism and the moral degradation of a society, and the very bad life choices that it make. Crime becomes rapid. That of course goes with any kind of pestilence, any kind of famine. Famine will drive your moral high compass, your moral north-facing compass Christian with a family, into doing criminal acts to get food for his family. People get desperate, and they do things. That's part of it. Many societies throughout history have gone this way and never came back. But the larger ones, and us included, we figured it out. We fought through it, and we hoped that we would build safeguards. We hope that we will build safeguards against the pestilence, the famine, the war, the corruption. Tiger, what do you think about the Safety Act in Illinois? Please give me more information on it, Tiger, and I will give you my if it's what I think it is, then no, I don't like it. But yeah, please feel free to give me more intel on that, Tiger. I think I've seen it in passing. I don't remember though. I'm on another focus here. So it's either on the abundance and survivability side, or the pestilence, famine, and war side. So whatever that weight that is. And we see that it is our own people that are creating this future. We know where this future leads. So I'm awaiting your input there, Tiger. War never changes. That's right, war never changes. War begets pestilence and famine. Famine begets pestilence and war. Pestilence begets famine. Pestilence, war. Let's see, they are basically saying that no bail. Yes, criminals have a free ride and do what they want with a ticket up to and including murder. Yes, I did see that. Yes, I remember. I actually, Tiger, I took a screenshot of it. Yes, I do remember this. So, hell no. That you are promoting criminality. You are promoting. I'm sorry. Illinois is promoting criminality and the eventual degradation and destruction of their society. Once again, the weight falls to the pestilence, famine, and war. If there's too much crime, there will be a war. War could be massive. War could be revolutionary. War could be civil. War could be against a group of people, an action. Salem witch trials. They had their own little war against witches. Purple Book Club. They always use words in their legislation when the result will be the opposite. Right. Yeah, the Safety Act. Yeah, look into it, folks. Illinois is, and definitely, and the land is lawless. People will make their own law. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Justice. By the end of a knife. By the end of the barrel of a gun. By hangings. By lynchings. There used to be lynchings. Some would argue that lynching is probably needed for most of these pedophiles and rapists and such. That's what happened. The people said we're going to have our own law. Mexico does that. Mexico, look into it. Just check it out. If they don't like you, if they do not like you in their government, they will tie you to the back of the truck and drag you down the street. There's a video. Take a look at the new Pinocchio. It shows Disney is a big party to partly blame for everything. Ah, yeah. But everything is connected. Everything is connected. That's what we're facing. They have studied pestilence, famine, and war, and abundance and survival. Yeah, Majik, yeah. Yeah. Be careful out there, or please don't take advantage of the law. Come on, don't be that one. But maybe you can. Maybe you can make it, make it advantageous for yourself. Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy laws. It's illegal to. It's legal for somebody to break in your house and sleep in there if it's if there's nobody home, and they can eat your food and take your stuff, and take a shit on your bed, whatever. You can't kill them. You can't kick them out. You can't call the cops on them. You're just stuck with them. Really? Oh, you still have to pay the property taxes and the mortgage. Yeah. They don't have to pay shit. Yeah. Anyway, madness, I tell you. Lots of people going to be slipping on bars of soap. Yes. Yeah. Comes into effect January the 1st. Ah, Tiger. Wow. Yeah. Well, that community has the ability to put a stop to that if they allow themselves to be. If they allow themselves to be self-governed, if they allow themselves to throw off the yoke of tyranny, to be non-compliant with the laws, then they make their own laws. WROL incoming. Yeah. That's another, without rule of law, that's another weight on the side of pestilence, famine, and war. And the scale. Northeast Rebel. Hello, all you magnificent bastards. Hope you're all well tonight. Yes, indeed we are. Thank you, Northeast Rebel. Ha! What'd you call us? You magnificent bastards. Right will become wrong, and wrong will become right. Yeah. Might makes right. In that situation, might makes right. That's why community is everything. Ace, hey, welcome to Sunday Reflections. Having public safety, security, a standing militia, keep and bear arms, that kind of thing. See, the founding fathers knew this. They knew this. They studied this. They studied it just like everybody else has studied it. And they came up with solutions to the people, for the people. Like, hey, yeah, you guys need to police your own and police those who you appoint to do your bidding, i.e. the government. Government works for the people. That was the whole thing. It was revolutionary. It's been tried a few times in the history in the past, but there was always some kind of version that never worked. This version is now being susceptible to corruption and to a literally takeover, which could lead to a revolution, which could lead to war, pestilence, and famine. They're going to induce it with famine. We're having induced famine right now. And famine, that's everything from food, water, energy, goods, and services. Enemies, foreign and domestic, right? Yeah. So that's why a community, a nation must be ever vigilant to make sure that their scale is always filled, their scale of abundance and survivability, and all those little weights that go in there. Your security, your food production, your moral compass, your social moral compass of the people, your rules and laws and regulations. If they're too strict, they're too bad. The middle path is the way. The middle path is the way. You got to have some type of. You can't just let people just do what they want. It's not a nation. It's going to go crazy. They tried that. It's good to have rules and regulations and laws, but to a certain extent. Too much and it becomes way too tyrannical, right? You got to have that. You cannot put all these rules and regulations to stifle and control capitalism to the point where dissolves and it's something else. It's not capitalism anymore. So those are weights that go on either side. Yeah. And you see it in the wild, wild west. It was true lawlessness. You got out there in the woods, in the desert, in the field. You did what you want, right? But you were always susceptible to the justice of somebody else, the judgment from somebody else. You killed somebody's brother, you might just have the whole family after your ass. And nobody's going to do shit about it. Nobody's coming to your aid unless you can somehow find a bunch of people willing to fight for your cause, which probably wouldn't going to happen anyway. You're just willy-nilly going around just killing people. Don Fry for sheriff. Is that a New Vegas reference? I'll shoot you dead. Local law enforcement. Yeah. Well, we have elected sheriffs. Hey, everybody, stop what you're doing. Firefly Farms will be right back. So we're going to stop the live stream. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. But there was true lawlessness. But in a town, in a village, which eventually became cities, people got together. They had goods and services to provide. And people wanted those goods and services out there. So they banded together. Well, they didn't want a lot of criminal activity because they're trying to make a living with their goods and services. So they would hire a sheriff. My time is precious. No breaks. Right, Meggie. Oh yes, the show must go on. She'll be right back. So we would hire them. We would hire our sheriff. Sheriff would hire more people if need be. He could deputize people. Form a posse and go after that bad guy that ran off into the wilderness with all of the money of the bank of the city because he robbed the bank. Oh yeah, then he took our prettiest damn call girl, the can girl. He's on, and now he's off riding into the sunset. Oh yeah, he took a bunch of beer too, so the bartender's pissed. So everybody's pissed, so they're going to form a posse, go get this motherfucker, right? Hang him. Take him back and hang him, kill him right there. That was justice. You didn't fuck around. Everybody had a gun. Right? I can hear chickens where you are. Crickets. Ah, yes. It's first year. No crickets? Really, Dee Dum? Yeah, I hear crickets. I have birds that live in trees next to my stronghold. Don't take the beer, bro. That's right. Yeah, bar tabs were very, very, very important. That's why bartenders had a shotgun down there. Noose, yep, hanging by the riverside, right? Or a lot of people, we had this in South Carolina. Actually, it was enacted by the British, but on the fairways, the main roads, the main routes into the cities, or in between the cities, they would hang people on the prominent road, so they all could see. That's been a practice going all the way back into, back into antiquity. Let's see, today is a special day. I never forget. In years and still have some healing hearts. Thank you all that serve military first responders. Prayers for our nation. Thank you, Ace. Yeah. Oh, Jules is taking dogs out, but she says carry on. Right on. Thank you, Jules. We will not hold up progress for you. Thank you. So we learn these things in society building, in nation building. We built our nation this way. We know the pitfalls. We know what happens if we don't have rule of law. We know that abundance can be taken away. That leads to famine, which leads to pestilence. And you can die from either one of these. You can die from pestilence by itself. You can die from famine by itself. You can die from war by itself. Hey everybody, Firefly Farms, Lori is back, so now we can carry on with the live stream. Thank you for returning, Firefly Farms. Now we can continue. Just a running joke here. Oh, I hear beers. And we faced that, and we had hoped that we had solved that problem. You see, our wonderful, I mean, really, it is a fraternal order of police that we rely upon for our personal safety and security. Relative. You know, our own obligation really is to ourselves to provide our own personal safety and security. And we do that through our moral compass, but we know that, especially in this society, that's the criminal element, and you know, anyone can be a criminal. Old mafioso proverb is that a honest man is a thief without opportunity. You know, so you know, action and action, right? We know that we have to keep people honest. Fences make good neighbors. Guns make for a very polite society. Everybody's armed. Everybody's going to be honest and nice to each other and polite. I mean, grandma might blow your ass away with a big old 44. You know.
Go ahead, punk, make my day.
Hand cannon explodes. You know, and this little 4 foot tall, you know, woman blows you away. You exit your meat suit because you fucked around and found out. I mean, you know, and fences. I mean, you think about it. Fences also protect your property from pestilence. You know, wildlife. That's where we get pest control from. You know, the modern day pest control has evolved to the point where we can now we've eradicated a lot of pestilence because of our pest control and our you know, practices. That's not just the chemicals that's involved. You know, you got to be proactive and you know, like some kind of structural management, things of that nature. Cleaning, hygiene practices as well. We've got to that point where we figured out how to do this, be safe about it, and to provide for capital gain, you know, goods and services, and to give something to the society. Oh, Ace, I'm so sorry. And little teaser, I did throw some axes at the fair, and I gotta say, I still got it. A little rusty. I'm a little rusty with the axes, but I still got it. Yeah, I did throw some axes, so that'll be all in the video to come in the future. So at the county fair, they had a booth there called "Grab That Axe." It's pretty cool. I don't have any of the. Oh yeah. Anyway. So yeah. There's right there. Grab the axe. They gave me a sticker. I hit the bullseye. They gave me a sticker. Instead of a Cupid dog, you get a sticker. I got a sticker and I got a bag. You know, one of those little cheap bags. It's got a cool little logo of a bearded guy and 2 crossed axes. And the guy taught me how to throw underhanded. And mind you, the throwing axe is a little different than my axe. They're a little shorter. The heads are a little bit wider, a little more head heavy, forward heavy. So when you throw it, it's going to hit just about every time. The axes weren't, as you'd imagine, the axes were kind of dull from use. He only had 2 axes out there, and I was like, "Hey, can I play? Can I throw 2 axes?" Like, yeah, go ahead. We've been slow for a while. Have fun. Move any artwork, adjusting to target. Hit my painting before. Better have good aim. Eye-hand coordination. Yeah, sorry, I did not do trial by axe. You know what? I was just tired and I slept. I had all the intentions and purposes of getting up and taking a nap after the long day and doing the show. But once I got into bed, I didn't wake up. So, and quite frankly, I needed it. I did. I needed to sleep, and it feels good. It feels good to be well rested. And I will not, I will not sacrifice that, you know. So I do apologize, but it was for the best. Sleep is good. And if I can get it when I can, then yeah, I'm getting it. You know. It's all about the health, right? And it's the health of me personally. My health matters to the society. My health matters to the big scale of things. If I'm not healthy, I can't go to work. I can't make money. I can't provide goods and services. And it starts to tip. One more person is taken out of the cog, the wheel, the chain, the system, whatever. And production degrades and things don't get done. Don't get confused on what tool you grab when you're grabbing that axe. Right. I'm actually playing with my knife here, but I'm doing it off camera so you don't see it. I gotta have something to. It's my fidget spinner. But anyway, yeah, you get drained. You get drained, and once I've been drained, now I'm a drain on my business, on my work, and now they're a drain on the society and the large scope of things. And that's capitalism. Now they could fill that void with somebody else, and I am free to find other gainful employment. I am also free to start my own little business, providing goods and services. Everyone is. That's you don't have to, but if you want to succeed and have longevity, that's what you need to do. Is provide for yourself and be self-sufficient, self-reliable. But to the point where now you are codependent and everyone else has a codependence upon you as well. Look at the butcher. Healing and health and sleep. Yeah. Public health, extremely important. Exactly. Yeah. That's why we have all these departments: Department of Sewer, Department of Water, drainage. That's a very important thing. It's getting rid of sewer, getting rid of water, standing water, getting rid of filth, getting rid of trash. I mean, everybody looks down on the trash man, but man, that guy in New York, if it wasn't for him, that place would be a cesspool. Of course, it is a cesspool. It's a little less of a cesspool. They did have a strike, right? Back in the 70s or the 80s. They had the trash man strike, and they just didn't pick up trash, and things got really bad. And then after that, they experienced a pestilence of rats and roaches, flies. Things got really, really bad. People got sick. Some people died. Just because they couldn't get rid of trash. That created a pestilence. Now people are sick and they can't go to work. That creates a famine. People get desperate. They can't find food. Everybody they know is sick or dying. They go to war. They take matters into their own hands. They band together. This has been a story that has been going on ever since the dawn of life itself. Dirty water here. Oof. I worked at a garage right before just garbage right and somewhere. Yeah, I did too, Majik. I had that job as I worked for the city in high school. Yeah, I did it for a summer job. It was like $8 an hour. It was really chill, but that was one of the worst jobs I had to do. Every now and then they'd need some strong young bucks to dig a hole for the Department of Water or something because there was a water leak. And I tell the story. That's where I seen I as a young kid I seen two people die in front of me, One got his head popped off by a backhoe, and one got fried to death by a down power line. Damn. Almost seen another person die from a down power line, but he survived. It's not the same anymore. Yeah, yeah. As a kid. In high school. Extra filtering and boiling. Right. Sister Maria. Yeah. Get you a big Berkey. Make your own little filtration system. My brother, he lived in a very old farmhouse in Tennessee. I think he still does. But these types of houses are well known, and my family actually, I found out, had a hand in building these homes. The Demings and the Rosses used to do this type of construction, and they traveled all throughout Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, building these exact type of farm homes, and one of them included a built-in water filtration system. Wow. They didn't have garages, they had like little work sheds, but in that they had built up they had made a concrete like cistern, and inside of one of them it was all raised, right? It was raised, and it had level of charcoal, sand, rock and gravel. It had to be certain type of rock and gravel, cheesecloth, and that was their pre-filtration system from getting water from the well, which was close to the river, which was already tainted and brackish and disgusting runoff from a lot of organic material going in, just naturally. That it was a black river. a lot of rivers in Tennessee are just black, nasty black. It's because of the land. It's because of the land. It's not from people. It's just been like that for millions of years. So anyway, that's what they had to deal with, and they built this built-in water filtration system built into the house, and it feeded the house. And then from there, you could have a cistern full of water that you could take from, and you could cook it. You could boil it, and then maybe filter it some more. That's what you would do. But yeah, it was just all built in, and they provided the service afterwards of providing the right type of sand, the right type of activated charcoal, the right type of gravel. It had to be there's like 3 different kinds of gravel, and I don't remember, but I remember it had to be 3 different kinds: a large, smaller, and then a little bit smaller. So it did, everything filtered, and then cheesecloth, fine woven cheesecloth in layers to grab all this stuff. And it emptied into this huge basin or cistern. It was all square. That's how they provided. This is before running water. This is how they made running water. And it was up high, so the pressure pushed everything into the house, and you could pump it. But yeah, the pumping from the well went to this first. So you could either get it piped in, or dug a trench in, or whatever means. I think they use like terracotta pipe kind of thing, this hard pottery, or you could just do it by hand, by bells, and just boop, drop it in. Yeah, the maintenance. I mean, that's what got me, Ace. This was before running water, before electricity, and these guys were running around providing a service, goods and services. They provided the goods and the services to build this type of home with this type of features, and then they provided the service afterwards. Pretty neat history. Just in that part alone of homes, farm homes, and these guys were Scottish. They were the Demings and the Rosses, or Scottish immigrants that came here, and I guess they did it in Scotland back in the day too. So I don't know. Interesting stuff. But that provided, a level of it provided for survivability. Fish ponds, higher end ones have the same type systems today. Have waterfall features using pumps. Yep, you see that. You still see that today. They'll have the spillaway which helps to aerate and all that stuff. Crazy how all that works. But we figured it out. And that led to the survivability in that area. And then later on, because now you have water, you don't have to worry about water. You still have to worry about the maintenance, right? But that gives you survivability, and now you're thriving, and now you have abundance. You don't have to worry about water. Great. Now you can provide water for your cooking, for your cleaning, for your plants, for your animals, and now you can produce. Yep, plants. I've seen that. I've seen that here, Majik. They have a type of plant here in Ohio, Northeast Ohio, that grows that sucks up the water. It does an amazing job. It's really tall and green. It's got this. It's a cool little plant. I'd say little. It can get as taller, if not taller than me. And it's like a bush. These big leaves that come out, and it sucks up all the water. And then it releases the water, and the water that it releases is clean. Like, whoa, hey, what the fuck? They use that for their to negate flooding and to help with the type of water supply. So they actually give Cleveland, look into it. The Cleveland water system here is so innovative and works that the rest of the world is coming here to learn shit from, because they incorporate organic, and of course they incorporate a lot of like Roman technology, basic simple methods to move water, to store water, and then of course they apply their advanced technologies, and advanced chemical and all that, and it's some of the best water in the world here, and it comes from Lake Erie, which is already kind of purified, They do have to worry about the algae here. They got to worry about some pesticide runoff and fertilizer runoff, that thing, but that's minute compared. The biggest problem here is algae. That's the biggest problem. It's the algae buildup. And yes, before you say, yeah, there was a river here that burnt, Cuyahoga. I pronounce it Cuyahoga because that's the way it's spelled, but they say Cuyahoga. The Cuyahoga River caught on fire back in the 50s because they were dumping, solvents and shit into the water. There you go, corruption once again. That led to the literally the whole fucking river burning. Oops. But we figured all that shit out too. But that's the balancing. You have to balance. Smoke on the water. Dun, 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 dun. What an iconic guitar riff, man. You hear that guitar riff, you know what it is, right? So we had to figure things out. And we know this. We know what turns things in our favor, brings it to our favor, not to our favor. We try to avoid the pitfalls of what creates pestilence, famine, and war. But now the corruption has been allowed to come into our society, into our community, and into the world. The fucking world. And to pervert and to create chaos so that they may capitalize on it. Very evil. Very, very evil. So it's unique. It's somewhat unique. It's a unique problem for a society to deal with when it's actually engineered. It's nothing new. You use it. They would use it in war a lot. The Romans were amazing at it. They could create pestilence, famine, and war, and destroy you before they even got to you, and stabbed you with their spears and their swords. Kingdoms did it to themselves. Stalin did it to his own people, and to Ukraine, of course. Stalin, Lenin, I forget. They're both about the same. Lenin was worse, I think. Yeah, with Kulaks and all that. I even remember that it got so bad. He took all the food from the farmers, and they could not farm anymore, or they were killed. They took the land, and when they would do the harvest, after the harvest, women would go out into the fields and literally pick through the ground for just a kernel of corn, one kernel of wheat. They would come back with a handful, and they had to give it. The regime would, "Hey, stop right there. What's in your hand? A few kernels of corn. Give it to me now, or we kill you." What? My family is starving. They had famine. They had a famine. Induced. Self-induced. They allowed it to happen. We cannot allow this to happen. But it's happened. It's happening on a worldwide scale. You see what's going on with Sri Lanka, and you see what's going on with Europe. Folks, winter is coming, and winter is harsh in Europe. Winter's harsh is here, especially in North America, the north portion of America. And, Texas. There's climate change. Climate does change. That's what climate does. But sometimes that pestilence part of it, where some countries get nothing but rain for 30 days. Sheena, welcome. And happy birthday, Sheena. Welcome. Drop your links. But we think that we have a good, and we do have a good handle on how to prevent pestilence, on how to prevent famine. War, because we take care of pestilence and famine, war is kind of whatever. We might participate in a war, but we have abundance and longevity, and we have survival, right? And we have a good moral compass, and we can provide, and we can help people. We can help other nations. That's what we did. We helped a lot of other nations with our abundance. We did it to ourselves. Here we go. Boom. Let me try this. Tell me if this works. Bam. Freedom Forum Network is now a moderator on your channel. I figured it out. What's up, Jim Bob? Welcome. Wow. I've been going on for 2 hours now. Yeah. Our military. A lot of us that served. We were brought up. Most of us were brought up in a society, and we were given these standards and codes as we grew up, and we ourselves had veterans that we seen in our families, in our friends, in our society that we knew, and we knew that we had a standing army. Exactly. Vote. #vote. We knew. We grew up, and so those who went into the military, they heard the call. They heeded the call, and they went into the military, and then from there they get more standards, more added to their character. What to do, what not to do. Happy 20th birthday, Sheena. All right. That's right. She's been 20 for 18 years. Or 30 years. I forget. Anyway, I'm terrible at math. But we heard, and we learned more. We learned how to be men. And then we came back into our society, most of us. We came back into our society and added something to it. We contributed to our society. Even though as fucked up we are, even though how fucked up our bodies are, our minds are, we still came back and contributed to our society as being veterans. A whole bunch of us, 18 million, I think. Anyway, and growing. So that adds to the moral portion of the sociological, the events, the surviving in abundance, because now we have good morals. And we're strong. And we stand by it. And we're influences of strength. We're pillars of power. All of us are, even you. Pillars of power for our community. and we provide that. That gives stability. That's being attacked. But that's a hard thing for them to attack. It really is. They're trying it through social media and digital inclusion and gaslighting and a whole vast array of different types of tactics and bullshit that they use, which is all very, very, cutthroat and yellow belly, to put it in terms, right? we're gonna get historical here, but even in the term, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. You look at the wars that China had, and I mean it was crazy. Oh please, Didi, I didn't do anything. Saved you guys from the Africans. I did save some people. I got some people home. It was good. But about 7,000 people came home that I know of. I had a part of it. But anyway, I'm just one of 18 million that did things like that. There were over 150 people in my company that helped, not to mention the Navy part of it. And eventually they went on to to the Air Force part that helped them out. So everybody had a hand in it, even the Army. So everybody did their part. Everybody contributed. Everybody knew what their job was, and they did it. And it was good. It was good. We had success, even though their country was literally going through pestilence, famine, and war. It was bad. It was very, very bad. I seen leprosy. I seen people with diseases and deformities that were shocking, that I had only seen on National Geographic, or those Channel 11, shows of I didn't think I'd go there and experience it firsthand. But I mean, that's the pestilence, famine, and war. That's the part that we need to. And this was a thriving society. This was a city, a modern day city, that fell. It actually fell a few times. It's funny. Africa, pestilence, famine, and war is an ongoing thing. Anyway, smoke break. Smoke them in. You got them. He said, "Oops, workout." Oh, it's a great night. Great night indeed. You stand for me, yes. And it all comes down, for the most part, we can weather a pestilence. We've shown that. We can basically eradicate famine. We have. War, by being the mightiest, we have prevented a lot of wars. Might makes right. Right? Well, thank you, Dee Dum. Dee Dunn. I'm sorry, Dee Dunn. I'm very special. Dun, dun, dun. Well, thank you anyway. We all have to provide something. We all have to contribute to make it work, to keep that scale in agreeable balance. Right now, that sound you hear is air conditioning. Lisa Anderson, welcome. That's why those who have abundance, those who have skills and are self-reliant and self-sufficient and creative in resource gathering, do well and survive. Within all these nations, you see the death of a nation. There's still people hanging on. There's still people that never left. They didn't have to. Did things get hard? Yeah. They had to, if they had a pestilence, and it was couldn't grow potatoes, well, fine, they grew tomatoes, right? Or they grew something else. There was a bovine flu coming through. Well, they grew pigs or something. Uh, did he? Did I now, Ace? Damn, you froze out, went inside on mine. I reloaded, and you're outside. Boom. YouTube magic. That's cool. I didn't have to edit that one. And then war, we have such a interesting geographical location that it's hard to wage war upon us. You literally have to come from the north or the south. Can't come from the east or west. And we've got the north and south pretty much secured. And we have allies. We have a buffer zone, if you will. The Atlantic and the Pacific are huge buffer zones. To the north, we have a land of ice and snow. To the south, well, that's kind of where we are vulnerable, isn't it? Millions of people coming. Replacement migration. That's another weight on the pestilence, famine, and war. Because now you have way too many too many mouths to feed. Too many handouts. They create crime. They create a pestilence. They're bringing pestilence in. Nunya, Texas, on the back 20. Evening, sir. Evening. Just talking about, that's funny, Texas. It's talking about replacement migration. Monique, regards from the land of ice and snow. Yep, I'm here too. So not far from, I am the land of ice and snow. 9-10 months of nothing but ice and snow. So I'm enjoying, we all are enjoying this weather as much as we can, for as long as we can. Well, I can still smell the food. It's lingering. Chicken, everything. I smell potatoes. It seems like it, but it's lesser now. You can tell that they've ate. It's done cooking. They've ate it. And now I'm smelling leftovers. Ah! Come from the land of the ice and snow. The midnight sun and the hot spring glow. Anyway, don't get me singing Led Zeppelin. Anyway, that would be the war part, which brings the pestilence and then the famine. It's the trifecta. Trifecta of destruction. The trifecta of destruction. And that's what we're facing. We're facing a corruption, an evil that is literally using that to their advantage, to our disadvantage. 600 million people in the world? Well, that's how you get it. Pestilence, famine, and war. And I say pestilence, that's pandemic, that's natural disasters, that's, civil unrest. Civil unrest, yeah, I would categorize that in the war part. People against people, And like I said, other species feel the same trifecta of destruction as well. There is war. It smells like worms here. There is war. If a wolf population or a coyote population gets too big, they will decimate everything in that area. Cats do the same thing. Cats kill all living creatures. No birds, no birds, no snakes, no reptiles. But they are on my plate. That's the best place to have a potato there, Carpenter, is on your plate. Hell yeah. Badass. Butter. I like it with a lot of butter, just butter. Put like a quarter stick of butter in a potato. Boom, there you go. That's just the beginning, A little bit of garlic powder. Here it smells like rain and it's on its way. All right. A daily farm chore. Feral cats. Oh shit. And they create pestilence. They create famine. Oh, I just got disconnected and now reconnected. All right. But we have the blueprints and the ways and means to create abundance and survival and longevity. Ooh, you got that flavor. That's my next little project. It's getting a thermal. 1,500 meters. That's like $3,000 though. I got homemade gravy, onions, and mushrooms on mine. Damn! Hell yeah, constitutional carburetor. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all making me hungry. I'm gonna end this here. It's approaching my bedtime. Yeah. So then I can feast. Go to bed. Ooh, the question, is it brown gravy? What kind of gravy are you using there, constitutional carpenter? Thank you, Uber. Thank you very much. I feel compelled to share. I do. I feel compelled to have these talks, to get it out. It helps me. It does. So, and I hope it gives some kind of insight. Even in my mad mind that I have here, I try to get a little philosophical and esoterical here. Get a little deep, but you got to have a community. You got to have community inside a community. A nation is built up of communities, and communities are built up of individuals. So it has to be, you have to tip that scale in your favor. You have to deny the pestilence, famine, and war. And if it does come your way, you have to find some resolution to it, or to weather the storm, or to just get the fuck out. That's an option. That's always an option. But, people migrate for many, many reasons. But that is our history. Our history is full of how we dealt with pestilence, famine, and war, and how we succeeded and how we survived. We learned from the failures. We learned from people who did make it. And you can go back as far as you want, or you can go back as close as you want. Our history, we have the Great Depression, Civil War, and then a bunch of folks from North moving south. Damn, you were having meatloaf with the potatoes. Ooh, another question. Oh man, I smell that food. That's good stuff. Raw. Yes, Dirty. Salisbury steak, yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. Idaho, Oregon, Pennsylvania. Damn. Well, Southern living, there's something to it, a little bit more no nonsense, common sense kind of thing. It is. South is a lot more self-reliant. That's a lesson that the South learned from the Civil War. It's how to be self-reliant. Yeah, great folks, good folks everywhere. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the norm, really. It is our nature to be hospitable, to provide hospitality, to give help, to help people along, and to provide for ourselves. right? First it comes from providing for yourself, and then you can get to that point where you can provide for others. You know, if you can mix the two at the beginning, that's great. You know, say you employ somebody to help you on your farm, or you know, something of that nature, or you know, great meeting yesterday, probably 75 people. That is great. That is great, Nunya. That's great. So that's why I'm excited. You know, to get to meet people, and especially in the community, especially in my land, and out in YouTube land too. You know, we actually do have a community, and you know, I think Sheena said it today. You know, is you know, she knows people north, south, east, and west, and you know, you can call upon any of us, and boom, here's your plate, here's your place to stay. You know, help you out, help you along your way. Oh, here's the interesting little thing. I don't know what you guys think about me on this one, but I was at Walmart today, and there was literally a woman in front of me. I was getting chicken livers. Yeah, chicken livers. I'm getting $1.92 for a little thing. I'm gonna give it to charity. I might have some. I hate liver though, but it's good for you. And this lady's got her kid, and she's buying stuff. She's got a full cart. She's got a full cart. I'm in the meat section, the chicken section, and she's standing next to me, and I'm getting chicken livers, and she literally, boom, does a 180 and goes, bam, and goes right into presentation mode. And she says, "Hey, single mother, I need, you know, wondering if you can give me like $5, or do you have any advice on can you help me out in providing more food for my family?" And without missing a beat, I was like, "Buy beans and rice, lots of it." And she looked at me. She was like, "Okay, have a good day." Obviously, she was drifting. She was trying to grift me. Obviously, why would you go to the store just to, you know, fill up your cart and then ask for money later? I don't know. Maybe that's how she shops. Maybe she has some success in that. And maybe, I'm sure, people help her out and give her money right there on the spot. I don't want to be bothered. I don't know her situation. I can glean from her situation, from what I see, that she ain't doing too bad. People are doing strange things. Yeah. Heard stories of people taking out loans to go to the grocery store. Yeah. But, yeah, I just sit and buy beans and rice. That was my little trip to Walmart. And I was getting food for charity. That's it. Busted ass at work, 60 hours. Damn. Yeah, very bizarre, Monique. You know, to get hit on, to get beggars in a Walmart. And you know, maybe that's her MO. Maybe that's what she's been doing for quite some time. Playing on the you know, the hospitality of others, the charity of others. Right, Charity? Yeah, she's over there on the porch. She's over there sitting. Let's see if I can't change this, can I? Oh, maybe I can. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, I'm hitting stuff I shouldn't hit. Ah, there we go. See if this works. Boom. See her? Right there. Yep. Ha. See, I'm figuring all this stuff out. That's pretty cool. Yeah, working at a shop similar to Shad. Oh, yeah? Yeah, Lori? Cool. Making products. Oh, yeah. I did not perceive any coupons. I did perceive that she had some good clothes on, and her kid had some good clothes on, and her cart had more expensive items in it than mine. You know, I seen that. That's what I gleamed right off the bat. You know, I did it while I was standing there, reading her. That's another one I'll get into, is reading people. You know, profiling people. That's another skill entirely. So I did that before she even talked to me. Recyclable Homestead. Hello, hello. Welcome. Sunday Reflections. Sideways. Ooh, oh, oh. Batman. Okay. Observation and awareness. Exactly. Read them before I give them my Hard-earned loot. Yeah, evaluate too. Yeah. And you know what? She might have been telling the truth. But, you know, why would she come to the store and fill up her cart and ask for money? Oh no, Shad, Matt Shad, what's my profile? Okay, all right, you are a man of excellent resourcefulness. Excellent resourcefulness, from what I've seen from you. And you have a good high moral compass, but don't fuck with you. Right? Yeah. Don't fuck around and find out with a Yoper. Don't do it. Very wise and very knowledgeable of your land and of people in your land. So yeah, there you go. Yeah. I could go deeper. I don't know. I'm just making guesses now at this time. I think you got a bum leg. Yep. I think you got a slight bum leg. I do too. That's okay. And we all have scars. And we all have ailments, right? You got a bum leg. I see it in your camera when you're moving things. You're walking around, and I can hear it in your voice. Whatever. But you know, you have your good days and your bad days, right? And we all do. So there you go. How deep is that? That's as far as I'm going. And you'll help people out. You will. You will be willing to help people out, and you'll be willing to school people in helping themselves. There you go. There we go. I'll stop now, Uber. Yeah. Check out Uber. Uber, drop your link, man. Drop your channel. Really good. Lower back. Close though. Okay, lower back. Yeah. My sciatica. Oh God. My sciatica. That'll make you limp too. Lower back. Yeah. Well, see, and that's the thing is we really don't know everything. We can make educated guesses, right? Even dealing with society and even dealing with a nation and ourselves, our lives, our families, we really don't know. Pestilence, war, famine, pestilence, famine, war. There's a lot of things we still don't know about how to deal with that. Pestilence is one of them. War is a very, very wild card. It's a wild card. You could be beset on all sides by war. Or war internal. And you don't know. You have no clue. You might see the signs. You might figure things out along the way. But as far as looking into that crystal ball, it's really hard to predict sometimes. Even though we are a very successful probability machine. You know, this little thinking noggin in our head is a excellent probability machine. But it's also can make the wrong decisions too. The wrong assumptions. So that has to be dealt with. To have some kind of filter, to have some kind of to have some kind of rules and regulations in your head that prevent you from going too far, right? But you're still not, but without sacrificing the facts. You know, work my ass off for what I got, but I am willing to always share, right? Right on, Hubert. Yeah, sharing and staying there, getting the food, and if I have an orange or something. Right on. Right on. I remember I gave a homeless guy, I had a foot-long cold cut sandwich from Subway. I had a foot long. And, you know, he came up. I was at a Walmart. This was in South Carolina. Dude came up. He was skinny. He smelt bad. Like, hey man, he had like 3 teeth in his mouth. You know, clothes had holes in them and shit. You know, he smelt bad. He had sores on him and stuff. He was in bad shape. Hey man, you got $5, man. Like, no, but you can have a sandwich. Like, what? For real? Yeah. Here's a sandwich. Holy shit! The dude smiled like he never smiled before. I was like, whoa, I got a Subway. Yeah, man, enjoy. Yeah, and I went back and got me another sandwich. All right, Charity is whining. I gotta go. So, folks, this has been my my Sunday reflections for the day. inspired by Jordan Peterson and Michael Vaughn. Jordan Peterson and Michael Vaughn, and they literally talked about pestilence. They called it pandemic, famine, and war, and how it plays out and the connections to it as well. But the root cause of it, corruption. That's where I got it. That's where it led me. So yes, good night, Uper. Good night, Lori. Good night, Miss Sharon. Good night, Bug Out. Oh, Bug Out. I'm so sorry. Good night, Metal. Good night, Dee Dee. Good night, everyone. Ace, Majik, Joe, Metal, everybody that's here. Please get one last chance. Drop your links, folks. Drop your links right here at the end, so everybody can after my face is gone from your screen, you guys can continue to share and stuff. You know how it works in the chats. You can continue to share. So hit that like if you wish. Yeah, whatever you want to do. Hit like, share, subscribe, share. Sharing is caring. Give Charity a pet and a treat for me. I will, Ace. She's waiting. That's what she's waiting on right now, Ace. Oh yes. Good night, y'all. Good night, Constitutional Carpenter. Enjoy your Salisbury steak and potato and gravy and mushrooms. Oh, yummy. Yes. Peace to you, Shad. Yeah. Thank you, Prepper Book Club. Peace to you as well. DD, appreciate it. Good night, all. Good night. Yes. Thank you, Spotted Fawn as well. Good night. Freedom for Jim Bob. He was in here as well. Good night. Let us look at this week with a healthy optimism to the massive pessimism that we're facing. So, this has been Matt Shad, Sunday Reflections. Good night. If I can end this. Tiger, good night. Yes, be well. Here we go.